Netflix is now your one-stop choice for woke streaming. And it's clearly not working, by the way. That's why they're losing subscribers. That's why they're losing billions of dollars.
Well, good. That's less bigots watching material on there. Not that I'm a fan of Netflix anyways, don't like their way of business. Again, this looks like another lie because many people are fleeing Netflix because shows like The Office and many Disney programs are being removed and being put on separate streaming services like Disney Plus and CBS All Access. On top of that, Netflix constantly increases their subscription prices, making the platform less accessible. That's the thing with you grifters. You always like to skew the truth to trick a load of unaware newbies. That's how they got me a few years ago.
But hey, when it comes to pushing divisive political rhetoric and ideology, losing money doesn't matter. So just keep on pushing forward. Keep on shoving that gay agenda in everybody's face. Keep on shoving that trans agenda in everybody's face. Keep on shoving that white people are bad agenda down everybody's throat.
I take those agendas over your transgeneration boomer bullshit. Seriously, just admit you're in a way homophobic, transphobic, racist, and all those other things. You are fragile as fuck.
And check out this part in the article here. They're talking about when they were making this special, like, you know what? We better go to a trans activist group. We better get their blessing. We better get their input.
And why wouldn't they do that? Joe and Nickelodeon wanted this to be handled the best they could, so input from a trans activist group seems like the best possible option. Let's be real, you'd bitch even if they didn't rely on them for help.
Entertainment Weekly also revealed that GLAAD's director of transgender representation consulted on the upcoming special. Adams told EW, quote, Rocko's modern life static cling tells a beautiful and hilarious story about accepting change. The younger characters accept Rachel immediately, recognizing she's still their friend. And while Rachel's father is slow to accept change within his own family, even he realizes that loving your child should be unconditional. This story of inclusion and acceptance is so needed in our current climate.
What are you talking about? The current climate? You guys are turning all of our established characters gay. You're turning them all transsexuals.
And those are hot topic issues because screw those people having rights or getting represented in media positively, right?
The LGBTQ community has the entire left-wing media establishment and multi-trillion-dollar transnational corporations in their pocket.
Conflating the LGBTQ community with the mainstream media establishment is really dumb, especially when the latter still sticks to some rather very right-wing traditions. You know, like motherfucking capitalism. Again, you're completely for the idea as long as your side benefits. Enough of the fear-mongering.
I mean, balls! You guys aren't being discriminated against. Nobody cares about you gay people anymore. Get over yourselves.
You thought that part through seamlessly, didn't you? Thanks for proving that they are still discriminated against, dumbass.
I mean, holy hell, you can't even get a show made these days without having to force one of you gay people onto the cast. And then on top of it, you gotta work with these groups to make sure that it's done in a sensitive way.
I mean, doing it sensitively is way better than just having them there just for the sake of it. This is something many corporations do, unfortunately. It's not even like they were required to have their work checked by GLAAD or another group akin to theirs. Nick made this move. Seriously, what is your beef with the LGBT all about? Are you buffoons seriously this dense about minority groups getting support and public acceptance? Why yes, you are.
Here's some more of what Adams had to say. Quote, when I read the story outline, I was happy to see that Rachel's gender was treated as a non-issue by Rocko and his friends, and that Rachel's father finally realized that he loves and supports his daughter. I worked with the show's creators to ensure that she was drawn in a respectful way, so that her femininity wasn't a joke. We also talked about how to portray the moment Rachel reveals her transition to the boys so that it wasn't sensationalistic.
The fact that you're jamming this into a Rocko's Modern Life cartoon is in itself sensationalistic. You idiots are completely out of touch.
If they were truly this sensationalistic, they wouldn't bother trying to improve how this arc went out at all. Oh, and who's out of touch again, Dick?
Oh, man, anyway, one more line here. From story outline, to storyboards, to animatics, to the final show, Nickelodeon kept GLAAD updated every steps of the way.
This is all utter nonsense. You can't create content this way. In order to draw a stupid Rocko's Modern Life cartoon, you had to work with a trans company just to make sure everything was done to fit their tastes?
If you're complaining about creative meddling, go complain to the FCC then. You know, when they don't appeal to your political leanings, of course. My assumption goes that this specifically applies to the design of Rachel and scenes she's in, not the entire special.
Now this would all make sense if there was a gigantic demand for this type of content, which there clearly is not. Nobody cares about these trans characters. Nobody really likes these story ideas.
Audience demand, especially from liberals and left-leaning individuals, shows otherwise. And in a way, you guys care about it too because you're giving it negative attention. Do you people seriously not hear yourself speak?
And yet, here's Netflix putting an extra layer of cost on the production of this show just so they can jam this political ideology into a cartoon.
Okay, so all I literally responded to was a salty millennial complaining that their childhood was ruined. Nice. By the way, no one's preventing you from watching the original show. Go and grab the DVD box sets if you please if you want to watch the old show for yourself, mostly complete. Or you know, stream it on some bootleg piracy site if you really hate corporations that much. But again, don't be surprised if you realize some political undertones later on in select episodes, though that still probably will go over your head. There's something that makes me laugh about this complaining about change. The special's own message is to accept how times change. It was specifically targeting purists like yourself, the ones who refuse any change that isn't just going back to the drawing board. Say what you will about some changes that life will throw at you, it's just human nature. A refusal to evolve with the times leads to little in the way of good, and leads to those people to be blinded by their beliefs. In short, please try to keep an open mind or else you'll end up like this salty cracker. Much to no one's shock, complaining about a character now being trans isn't the only stupid remark that's been said against Static Cling, or the show as a whole in hindsight. The show featured LGBT characters even in the 90s, by the way.
Aha! LeMayo, I knew it! You progressives are pro-incest! Come out! Tell us how you fuck your sister and your mom! Please, the truth needs to be spread.
Ooh, yes, what a voice of reason. The Chameleon brothers aren't gay for each other, you don't. Plus, a connection's been made towards the symbols on Rachel's outfit. Apparently, some conspirators believe the swirl is being used as some FBI-recognized pedo symbol, little boy lover. And yeah, that ties into their argument that the elite inject pedophilic symbolism into anything they can, often under the guise of accepting the LGBT. Anyone who doesn't blindly go by the words of a dark web forum would think this claim is ridiculous. It's obviously just a paper-thin conspiracy theory that is used by people against both the elite and the LGBT community at large. Let's not forget that this pattern was in the original show too. You just probably didn't notice it. Final thoughts time. Angry white man. You do absolutely zero research about this situation, and make damning accusations that it was Netflix's decision to add the transgender arc. It's even worse because you decided to defecate this out a day before the special itself was even able to be seen. Comes across as opportunistic to me. The fact this has, or had, ads playing over it doesn't help matters. Continue onward with your tirades, but please for the love of Buddha do some research and fact-checking. At least then you wouldn't sound as sensationalist. But I have a feeling it was your intention to ignore those necessary things so you could churn this out quick and get your audience scared. Or, you know, continue validating their outlandish views. Oh, and if any of you ask me to tackle more political material in the future from these reactionary dipshits, let it be known that nearly all of them run together. You could get the same general idea out of him that you would get out of someone like No BS or Tim Pool. They all make complete asses out of themselves. Even so, these channels are usually so boring I can't bring myself to make fun of their content on its own. With that out of the way, thank you very much for viewing my content. Now if you excuse me, I'll be doodling some Rocko characters. They are very fun to mess around with. Toodles!
Sex Minion.